everyone. Today's our topic is valve actuator in the unit number 4, control valves. In the last session we had studied about the different control valve accessory and the application of the control valve accessory. So first of all, what is the valve actuators? The valve actuators is the final control elements in every control valve, because whenever we use a control valve, a stem is used for the opening the valve and the close the valve. Whenever the leakage is there, we can connect a valve actuator to the top of the control valve to stop the flow. So the valve actuators are devices used to position valve. It is set the position of the control valve for the leakage problem. Now they can use to fully open and shut the valve, or in an application that requires constant and precise control such as regulating the flow, start the flow and stop the flow of the fuel to the gas turbine and modulate the position of the valve. So using the valve actuator, we can minimize the error in the leakage problem. So there are different selection criteria whenever we use the valve actuators in the control valve. So the first criteria is the valve application. The second one is the means available to power the actuator. The third one is the speed at which the valve needs to be operated. The fourth one is the amount of the force required to operate the valve. And the fifth one is the type of the valve to be operated. Which type of the valve we can use for the particular application? We can use this type of the actuator, and the cost versus the benefit for using each type of actuator. So depending upon the selection criteria, we have generally different types of valve actuators. So the first type is pneumatic actuator. In the pneumatic actuators, we can use air in the inflow and at the outflow. Now the next type is hydraulic actuator, and the third type is the electrical actuators. Now pneumatic actuators are also divided into two parts: spring actuators and the springless actuators. In the spring actuators, we can use a spring in between the stem and the actuator, and without the spring we can control the actuator using the airflow. So the first is the pneumatic actuator. Now what is the pneumatic actuator? The pneumatic actuators used to pressurize the air to operate a valve. So they do this by applying the force of the air to a piston or a diaphragm attached to the valve stem. As you know, the valve actuators are connected in the top of the control valve. So we can connect the actuator with the valve stem, and we can apply the force according to the system so that we can control the valve output. So the pneumatic actuators are used to provide automatic or semi-automatic valve operation. Now what is the advantages of the pneumatic actuators? So it is dependability and simplicity of design. Simply we can connect our actuator in the top of the control valve. Now the fast rocking speed in the pneumatic actuator, low fire risk. The cost of the pneumatic actuator is low. Its pressurized air can be stored, so the valve can be operated when the power is lost. Okay. Now the next one is the disadvantages of the pneumatic actuators. It includes the poor performance at the slow speed. So the response of the speed is lower compared to the hydraulic actuator. It is impossible to precisely control position unless it is fully open or fully shut the valve. Now application of the pneumatic actuators is due to their simple design and the high reliability, and the cost is low. Pneumatic diaphragm actuators are used in many industrial applications. Now here you can see that in the pneumatic actuator we can use a piston as well as the diaphragm. So depending upon the valve requirement, we can use the different types of materials in the actuators. Diaphragm are generally made a rubber material. So for example, if the pneumatic diaphragm actuator are used for the control of cooling water flow, in that we can use a diaphragm of this pneumatic actuator. And generally pneumatic actuators are used in the power plant application. Now the pneumatic actuators, this is the actual diagram of the pneumatic actuator. Whatever the air pressure supply is given to the control valve will be fully open and fully closed depending upon the requirement. Here you can see that 4 milliampere, 30 milliampere and 20 milliampere input supply is given to the pneumatic actuator, and depending upon the input, the valve is fully open or fully closed. So depending upon the application, pneumatic actuator will be open and closed. Here you can see that in this diagram it is fully open and fully closed condition. As well as using the pneumatic actuator, we can regulate the flow of this system. So there are mainly two types of pneumatic actuator. First one is the spring actuator. It is also known as the fail-open actuator. In the fail-open actuators, the spring is for the open position and it is used for the add to close. So this is the diagram for the spring actuator. Here you can see that we can use a 3/2 solenoid valve, normally open position. So here valve is generally in the open position. Here we can connect a 3/2 switches connection. Whenever the switch in the closed position, the valve is fully closed and the position of the spring is fully open. Now the next position is when the solenoid is energized, the valve closes, and when it is de-energized, the valve opens. Now, so depending upon the application, we can open or close the valve using the pneumatic actuators. The second type is fail to close. Here you can see that spring is used to close the valve and air is used to open the valve. Here again we can use a 3/2 solenoid valve, but the valve condition is normally closed condition. So the solenoid valve is energized, the valve opens the input, and when it is de-energized, the valve is closed. So the application of the fail to open and fail to close is totally reverse. Whenever we open the valve, we can use a spring actuator. Next one is the hydraulic actuators. In the hydraulic actuators are used as a fluid to be control valve movement. The function of the hydraulic actuators is same like the pneumatic actuators, but in the hydraulic actuator we can use a water or a oil instead of the air. So we can connect the hydraulic actuator in the both side of the control valve. Generally in the hydraulic actuator we can use the pistons for the movement of the control valve. So hydraulic valve provides for automatic and the semi-automatic valve operation. This is the actual diagram of the hydraulic actuators. In this actuator we can connect a pistons. In the below side of the pistons a stem is connected, and with the stem a control valve is connected. In the above side of the piston a spring is connected. So depending upon the inflow, the piston is go upward side or the downward side, and spring will be release and compress, and depending upon the spring movement we can get the output. Now here you can see that with the piston we can also connected a cylinder. In the pneumatic actuator we can use a piston as well as the diaphragm from the actuator movement. In the hydraulic actuator we can compulsory use of pistons for the actuator movement. So depending upon the air flow inflow, piston will be moved upward side and downward side, and using that we can control the outflow of the system. So the hydraulic actuator, the advantages of the hydraulic actuators include more powerful than the pneumatic actuators of the same size. Next one is the precise control of the valve position. It is capable of converting a small input pressure into a large output pressure, because we can use here a piston, so we can control a large output pressure using the hydraulic actuators. It is incompressibility of the fluid, which means very little energy is lost during the operation. So the hydraulic actuator is more effective than the pneumatic actuator. Now what is the disadvantages of hydraulic actuators? The external hydraulic pump is required for that. Next one is the efficiency can be changed by the temperature changes, more expensive and complex than the pneumatic actuator. It can leak and causing the potential fire hazard, because here we can use the oil as a inflow. Now in the hydraulic actuators are often used to operate the main stop and the control valve for the high pressure steam turbine piping application. The actuator's ability to operate the valve against the high pressure steam, as well as the ability to quick shut the valve on the loss of the control oil, makes hydraulic actuators well suitable for this type. So whenever we use a oil in the input side, that time we can compulsory connect a actuator with the control valve for the quick shut down the valve and for the leakage purpose. Now the third type is the electrical actuators. So this is the diagram of the electrical actuators. Whenever we use the electrical actuator, we can compulsory use the electrical motor with it. So the electrical actuators include the electrical motors and the solenoid actuators valve. So we can also use here 3/2 solenoid actuator valve. So whenever the solenoid valve is energized, the electrical actuators are in the open position, and whenever the solenoid valve is de-energized, the electrical actuators are in the closed position. So the electrical motor can be used to open, close and position a valve manually, automatically, as well as a semi-automatically. So the use of the electrical motor for the purpose of open the valve, close the valve, and we can set the position of the control valve. Now the advantages of the electrical actuators: there is no source of pressurized air or fluid required. In the electrical actuator, there is no requirement of the air or fluid. Useful when the low temperature could cause freezing of in the air supply lines. It is capable of producing very large amount of torque, and it is capable of producing a operating speed. So there, whenever the speed is required in the control valve, we can connect a electrical actuator, and the electrical cables are easier than the piping or route to the actuators. Thank you everyone.